Hi, welcome to the Lived Experience Practitioner Discrimination Diaries. And I'm doing this diary because somebody on Twitter asked me if I'd ever done a blog or a video diary on having a gastric bypass and the discrimination that you have from being fat. So yes, I had. I put it on my old website. I had loads of blogs on that, and basically at some point website got wiped and I lost everything. So yeah, I thought I'd do a blog on that. But obviously this the LXP discrimination blog is about the impact of discrimination from being a lived experience practitioner. So I was thinking, can I actually weave this in with that? And I thought, yes, I think I can. So bear with me. I am going to link being fat, having a gastric bypass, and the discrimination of working as a lived experience practitioner together. At least I think I am. And what I would like anyone who watches this video to do, because I'm in two minds as to whether this was linked or not, and whether what happened to me was discriminatory or not, put a comment and tell me what you think, because I still can't work this out. Okay, so bear with me while I get to this. I was 24.5 stone. Like a lot of people, well, I live with a complex mental health condition, mix of what is called emotionally unstable personality disorder, also known as borderline personality disorder. A lot of people think the diagnosis is utter bollocks, and they want it to be renamed to reflect that it's really from the impact of trauma. So it's also called referred to as complex emotional needs, or what's the other thing, early developmental trauma. Either way, whatever it is, I live with it. Also bipolar disorder is another label I have. Generalized anxiety disorder, another label I have. Now, whatever the labels are, basically they interact, interlink, and life can be a bit shit. It can it can be a bit difficult. They're kind of they're conditions that I live with where essentially it's almost like having if you think about an emotional continuum that most people kind of live with, it's almost like kind of having a wider emotional continuum, and I kind of it's like I live on the more sort of extreme ends, which kind of is very tiring and distressing, and that can be it's especially for myself, but also, you know, for others around me, if I'm very distressed, or, you know, if I'm kind of like up there and people might find me a bit annoying or what have you, whatever. But, you know, it's difficult to live with anyway. For very long time, obviously, trauma, upset, distress, what have you. I used to be active, do a lot of dancing, hurt my foot, couldn't do that, miserable, went to the cinema a lot, ate a lot of Maltesers and M&Ms, and other shit, and I put on loads of weight, 24.5 stone, boom. So yeah, so at some point I was able to get this gastric bypass. A lot of people think it's the easy way out. No. Over a year I lost 4.5 stone. It's fucking hard work. You try exercising when you are 24.5 stone. Aside from the fact that people take the merry piss out of you, and it's much harder than being a skinny mini and going along, and, you know, it takes barely any effort. And I can tell you this because I'm not skinny mini now, but I have been a skinny mini, and I've been fat, really fat, and I can tell you it's fucking hard work. fucking hard work. You can do things effortlessly when you are tiny. When you see someone struggling along, I tell you what, they're putting in 20 times more hard work than you are as a skinny mini. And but anyway, I'm ranting now, but yeah, and you know that if you're on the cross trainer or you're on the running machine or whatever you're doing, and some twats are going by, go, oh, look at the elephant on there. Anyway, I had to put up with all of that. Learned to ride a bike again at the local. You know, you get these community things. So I went and learnt how to ride a bike. I could ride a bike anyway, but basically, it's, you know, managed to to balance someone again, and basically huffed and puffed around North Birmingham again, looking like a twat and having twats kind of laughing at me and stuff, as you know. It was hard work, really hard work. And yeah, there was like a swimming club, community club, and I got to do that as well. Obviously, being a lived experience practitioner and earning crap money, where discrimination comes in, I was fucking poor. So fortunately, these initiatives by the local government were free, so I was able to do that, boom, which is really good. I think probably before austerity hit. Oh, I'm getting these really spammy phone calls. They're coming from, then you get from ones and they're pretending to be from, fucking shit, what is that? Stop, no, don't, end call. Oh my god, stop. It's doing something where it's notifying my emergency contact. Oh, shit, that was scary. Don't do that. Yeah, okay. I've forgotten what I was saying. Yeah, anyway, oh, rude interruption there, Yeah, I'm talking about being fat and how hard it is to lose weight. And then you get to there's like a month bit before you have the operation, and you're eating 800 calories a day. And Jesus fucking Christ, 800 calories a day when you are like normal weight is like horrific. When you're I got lost, I think I was 21 stone by then, so I had to lose, I think it was that last stone or something. Oh, it was just a killer. And you know, when you've got headaches, you're weak, you can barely move, and I had to do that for a month. Boy, so hard work. You have this gastric bypass, and you're being sick all the time. You can you've got, you know, dizziness. You get what's it called, dumping syndrome, which is sometimes when you eat, afterwards you get a feeling where sometimes you're very, very sick, and sometimes it's a little bit like if you have, what's it called, you know, diabetic that has, like, you know, when you get the, like an insulin thing, a hypo, yeah, whatever it is, yeah. And you get the sweats, and you're very dizzy, need to lie down, go into like a little bit of a like a little bit comatose for half an hour or something. Anyway, and you need to lie down. So anyway, imagine I've had this operation, I've gone back to work as a lived experience practitioner, and you know, I've been losing all this weight while I've been working there, and you know, going from my 24.5 stone to sort of 20 stone, then I'm kind of losing all this weight really, really fast. So the usual discrimination that we face as lived experience practitioners, you know, I'm kind of getting that. At the same time, so now I'm not getting the usual discrimination, I'm getting top level discrimination, because this was the time when I was I'd started to do a master's in personality disorder. Now bear with me, I'm going to link this to fatness and discrimination and yeah. So this MSc I tried to get on it. I had to apply about 4 times. And the reason I hadn't got on it the other 3 times was because I didn't have organisational support. Each time I'd ask my team for support, and they were like, oh no, we can't support you because there's someone else on the team and they're doing the MSc, and so we can't support you, blah blah blah, which was bollocks, because the MSc was fully funded and blah 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 blah, and I knew it was bollocks and they knew it was bollocks. Anyway, when the person finished, I'm like, woohoo, you know, oh great, they're finished, can you support me now? And they're like, no. Can you wait until next time? We can't really support you at the moment, we can support you next time. And I'm thinking, fucking screw that, next time, you know, this is being funded, fully funded at the moment. That funding might fucking run out next time. There's always every single time that course was run, there's a danger that the next time the funding might run out. So I managed to get organisational support from somewhere else. Boom. So I was like starting to do the course anyway, and I'm like, yeah, you know. So anyway, I worked part-time, and this was on a certain day of the week. I've always worked flexibly as this part-time LXP, and it was a job share, etc, etc. And so we happened to have a team meeting on the day that I had my my day of lecturing for the MSc. The MSc was every 2 weeks, so it just meant that I'd miss this team meeting once every 2 weeks. However, I was only on sort of a half of a job share, so that shouldn't really have been a problem. It was kind of like when we were first employed, we were told we'd only probably be going like once every 2 weeks anyway, and that was kind of what I've been doing really. So so they were like, oh well, you've got to be there on that day because the team meeting every Thursday, and if you don't go, that can be like a sackable offence if you don't turn up for work. And I'm like, oh shit, I could be sacked if I don't turn up for work. And then I thought, I've got to put in a grievance, because otherwise I could get sacked, you know, if I do this. And I can't give up this MSc. Like, I can't give up a fully funded MSc. No way. You know, like, I'm poor. And I don't have access to education. If I get this, I need to do it. And anyway, so I was putting in this grievance, and I was like, and I was having to go through all this, like, this sickness and stuff, and kind of this operation, this, you know, it was awful. And I ended up sort of really ill and all the rest of it. And I was like, it was awful. So imagine going through that. And then I was off for 6 months because of the stress of going through that that grievance. The funny thing is, I'm doing these diaries because of another grievance. I'm like fucking grievance girl. It's horrible. It's so horrible. So horrible. But I had to do it. I had no choice. So I'm linking this again into the fatness bit, because when I came back, basically the whole thing with the grievance, they moved me into another team. Now this is where I want to get your opinion. Was this discrimination or not? Now, when was I being given the big fuck you or not? Was I being, you know, this might have been love. This might have been like, you know, real caring. I cannot work this out. Now, when I went to I still can't work this out. And I, like, am I being an absolute dick, an absolute shit, for even, like, thinking this? Am I being a knob? Or was this a real, like, I don't know, you tell me, okay. So I come back, I'm feeling really awkward, like everyone else is feeling really awkward. It's like, it feels like people can barely look me in the face, look me in the eye, kind of, you know. It feels horrible. It feels really, really awkward, you know. And then I get told, like, oh, I'm going to be sort of moved into this other team that's sort of much more conducive to the work that I'm doing, blah blah blah, bollocks, you know. But anyway, and it wasn't really more conducive to the work I was doing, but anyway, moving swiftly on. Anyway, this is what I got for my leaving present. Now, bearing in mind, when you have a gastric bypass, like, your stomach is made really, really tiny. So when you have food, you go from having, you have liquid at first, you can't even eat food. Then you have mashed up food. And then you have little tiny portions. So at first, I couldn't eat much more than that much. Like, seriously. I know that sounds ridiculous, but like that much. And then I could eat like that much, and then like I could barely eat anything, like tiny stupid tiny amounts. The other thing is that when you have a gastric bypass as well, even when you get to being able to eat sort of bigger portions, you can get something called dumping syndrome. So if you have sugar, you can, you know, when I was talking about this dumping syndrome that you can get, where you get the sweats and you end up basically having a hypo. So you know, you'll kind of be dizzy, you'll end up needing to lie down, you'll end up being very sick, you know, it make you very, very ill. So this is what can happen. Okay. Fortunately, I don't get that so much. I do get it sometimes, don't get it so much anymore. Hence, I've got a nice big hot chocolate here. Ooh. So this present would have been amazing now. Back then, maybe not so much. Okay, so bear this in mind. What present did I get? I got a big, massive, now it was beautiful, big, massive, beautiful, like handmade, so like stunning, kind of like chocolate egg. Like, not just this handmade chocolate egg, but there are lots of other little chocolate eggs around it. And it was like, it was amazing, as in, like, if I got it now, I'd be like, oh my god, thank you so much. I love chocolate. Oh wow, this is incredible. Now, back then, I could barely eat. Like, I could barely eat anything. I couldn't really eat chocolate, you know. I could eat tiny amounts. And to be fair, I think it was dark chocolate, so I could eat little tiny bits of dark chocolate. This was a huge amount of chocolate, and I think there was some milk chocolate in there as well. So you could say that's really kind, because they've got you, you know, a year's, maybe 2 years supply of chocolate. Or it could have been like, because I mean, what you got to bear in mind, when I came back to work, they've seen me like rushing off to the toilet, hurling, kind of, you know, sometimes like getting the sweats and kind of feeling dizzy, or kind of like feeling like I need to lie down. And kind of, and then they give me this big, massive chocolate, huge egg. Now, was that? I still don't know. I mean, when I got it, I was like, oh, thank you, that's great. And I kind of like had a picture of me going, hey, and I sent that round to people, like, hey, and I was like, you see, I got it, and I thought, what the fuck? But at the same time, I was like, really like, hey, thank you, I love chocolate, and it's handmade, isn't it beautiful? At the same time, thinking, are you taking the piss? Like, but I didn't know. I couldn't tell, are you taking the piss? Or is this a really nice present? And I couldn't tell. Now, bearing in mind, this is where like I struggle, because if you've got people that are like highly trained psychotherapists, so, you know, like, you think And then you think about the subconscious level and you think deeper. And I think, well, if it's really innocent and really kind of like well-meaning, did nobody out of all these people like think, maybe, see, maybe this, I mean, it's a lovely gift. Maybe it might be a bit, maybe that could be taken either way. Maybe, I don't know. Did nobody think? I don't know. Or was it a big, like, and fuck off out of our team. Fuck off out of our team. And when you fuck off there, you can fuck off a bit further, because we don't fucking like you. Fuck, 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 fuck off. I don't know. I really, really don't know. I don't know. Maybe they don't know. Maybe, you know, sometimes you can do something and in your head you honestly are thinking two things at the same time. Maybe they were kind of like thinking, oh yeah, Tamara likes chocolate, and you know, this is like dark chocolate, so she can, you know, she can eat it like a bit at a time, she'll like that. And then maybe there's like the unconscious shadow side, which is like, oh, that bitch, she's losing all that weight. Bit of the envy going on. Maybe some people want to lose weight, I don't know. Or maybe like, oh, she's caused us so much pain, and you know, oh, thank goodness she's going, kind of thing. Maybe there's like that on the subconscious level, and kind of like, so there's a little bit of the fuck you going on as well, but there's like a bit of ambiguity. I don't know, because you know, sometimes you do something and you kind of I mean, it doesn't have to be that polarized, but you know, sometimes you do something and you kind of, you're sort of in two minds, and actually sometimes you can't tell if you think one thing or another thing, and other times what you realize is that you think both things, but you kind of it's because you think both things from different perspectives, if that makes sense, and you agree that both perspectives exist. So you can't really say exactly what you think, because you think kind of different things, and that's okay. I don't know. So please do tell me what you think about EasterEggGate. am I you know, am I being a right cow, or, you know, am I mistaken? I mean, I'm not trying to be a cow. I'm just kind of like, I genuinely don't know. It might have been really innocent. Like sometimes I rant and rave about it, and I kind of really hurt and upset. Sometimes I think, it's kind of like innocent. Someone just grabbed it, and maybe it wasn't from the whole team. Maybe one person grabbed it and got it for me and thought I would really like it. And but even then, maybe it was something where the whole team weren't really going to get it, so one person got it, and in that way, because it wasn't from the whole team, like, nobody thought about it. Does this make sense? I think there was definitely something behind it where it showed a lack of something, or a lack of it definitely showed a lack of thought at its best. I think actually it's probably one of two things. I think either it was one person sort of got it for me in a very well-meaning way, and that it wasn't sort of a team effort, and that, you know, they probably just got it, not really thought about it, and it wasn't a team effort, maybe because the team weren't really, I don't know, they didn't really give a shit or something. I don't know, something like that. Or it was more of a team effort, and some people must have thought, you know, and just kind of, and there was some nastiness there. I don't know, that's kind of but you know, at the moment as well, I'm feeling shit, and I'm feeling like, you know, I've just spent 5 days in bed. So although I'm feeling good today because I've got up, you know, in like in context, I'm not really feeling good. Like the lenses that I'm seeing things through are not great. So I don't know, but I'm waiting on about it. Let me know what you think in the comments about EasterEggGate, and if anyone does make a comment, what you say will be law, because it's not like anyone really watches these videos. So if you put something in the comments, like, you'll likely be the only person, and what you say will rule. So so yeah, let me know.